What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your man, RTP. Skull Gang in the building. You know what time it is. It's the Pewter and Red podcast here on another day. Man, listen, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. Before we start talking, let's go ahead, get some rhythm going. Let's get the ticker going, and let's get ready to play, man. Listen, breaking news. Baker Mayfield will be the starting quarterback for preseason game 1. Now, some people might not think that's anything, but that means that Kyle Trask is going to be starting preseason game 2. think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. While we do that, let's go ahead and give some shout outs. Bucks Rays Bolts in the building. Rashad West in the building. TB Val in the building. Didn't mean to hit that button, TB. Real OG in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. This is we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. First off, I hope everybody in here who's watching does their job and hits that like button. We slowed down a little bit. We slowed down a little bit when it comes to the subscription, people subscribing. So let's go ahead and do that job and hit that like button before we go. If you're new to the channel, subscribe here, because this is where we're going to do a lot of Buccaneers talking. We do opinions, vibes. We break down everything. We break down tape. We watch the game live here. We do it all here, man. So this is the one Buccaneer channel you need to have. So subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notification bell's on all. If it's not on all and it's just on personal or whatever, you're not gonna get notified when we go live. And trust me, you want to get notified when we go live. So everyone, do me that favor, hit that like button so we can get the algorithm going. If you're watching this and it's not live, comment in the comment section. That also helps the algorithm. So you guys comment in the comment section when you're watching this. But yeah, let's get this subscribing train rolling again, because listen, preseason is around the corner. Preseason is around the corner, man, and things are happening. So I said before that the way I wanted this to go down was I didn't want them separated. Okay, I didn't want them separated. I didn't want one guy to play one game and another guy to play another game. I didn't want that, first of all, because I wanted the guys to go against the same team. Here's my problem with two guys going to different two teams. What if one team got a better defense than the other team got a better defense, right? So that's my whole thing. I don't think it'll matter if they both have the starting team with them. Now, will we have the starting team with them? That's the question. That's the question. How does that work? Are we going to have starters play in the first game and starters play in the second game? Are we just going to have starters play in the second game? How is this going to work? So this is what's going around on Twitter right now. I believe JC Allen via JC Allen said that he has been told by his source that Baker Mayfield will be starting game 1 and Kyle Trask will do game 2. So that's what's going on. Now, some people might say, you know, week 2 would be the game where your starters are, right? Week 1, your starters don't really play. Week 2, your starters play. It's like the dress rehearsal. And then week 3, you know, you don't do nothing. But sometimes week 3 is the dress rehearsal, which technically I would prefer that to be the dress rehearsal, because you got another week of nothing. So you would want your guys to have a dress rehearsal week 3 and then, you know, have the break and then the regular season starts. So maybe Baker plays with the second team against Pittsburgh Steelers, and then Trask plays with the second team against the Jets. And that's what worries me. That's what worries me. We'll break that down a little bit more. TB says, I would have preferred Baker to start game 2. Baker doesn't deserve the more comfortable home game. He needs to be pressured to perform as a vet. I hear you on that part. Or maybe they want the pressure on Trask to see if he can handle it. If he can, he might get that quarterback one. The odds are against Trask, it seems. Now, I thought I was done talking about this quarterback situation, and I wasn't even gonna go live today. I wasn't gonna talk about today's practice. I wasn't gonna go live today. But then this came out, and now it's like I gotta hurry up and get this out about my feeling of the quarterback situation and where we're at as far as who looks like they're gonna be the starter. What does so-and-so need to do? I think things have changed and shifted a little bit, and I feel like I need to get this out. So I wanted to get it out before the preseason game. Gosh dang it, the preseason game started. So we don't have many practices left. I believe we practice tomorrow, which is going to be huge, and I'll explain why. Tomorrow's what, Tuesday? We probably practice Wednesday, and then we take Thursday off, and then we have the game Friday. I'm not 100% sure we practice Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure we practice Wednesday, but I know for sure we're practicing tomorrow. So let's get into the Twitterverse. What I like to do, if you guys are new, I like to look at my Twitter. I liked a whole bunch of tweets of when camp was going, so we're gonna see some tweets going on as far as what Twitter was doing. We got some videos and stuff like that. This is just Levante and Devin coming out. Greg Allman tweets, Bucks rookie Kalijah Kancey is already out of his boot, but still a spectator at the practice. He's a few weeks away from returning from his calves. Listen, there's a lot that happened today, and I want you guys to pay attention, okay? Greg Allman says, still no great gains with the defensive line at Bucks practice. He didn't go Saturday, but Bowles had said it was a maintenance day. Here's Tompkins getting his swag on. Tompkins, again, having a big day today. I don't know if he tripped right there or... Oh, no, okay. But yeah, Tompkins is definitely making the team. He's, making big plays every day, making big plays. Seth in the building. I don't know what channel the game's going to be on. I have no idea. I'll probably be watching it through the Black Box, a.k.a. the Octastream. This is where I can get like pay-per-views and all kind of stuff. So I'll probably be watching it through that. But I'm not exactly sure what channel the game will be on. Let's go through some more. This is Luke Gedeke. And Mayock practicing. Bucks corner Carlton Davis looks to be full go today after being limited much of the past week with a bruised shoulder. Here's some of the quarterbacks warming up here. You know, just I want to see something. See Dave Canales right here. Okay. All right, we got some more drills right here. What are these, fumble drills or? Leaving no stone unturned. He's working with the skill players are diving for an extra yard or the pylon to protect the ball. Okay. All right. Let's see some more sled work. Some more O-line. Let's see. Devin. Linebackers practicing on catching. Ooh, some more moves. I can't wait to see our wide receivers, man, in preseason. Woof! That nice one-hander by Palmer. That was beautiful. One more time. Ah! Why you gotta do him so nasty? All right, here we go. The GOAT doing his thing. All right, big time pushing and shoving between Devin White and Tristan Wirfs. I believe Devin White was actually pushing Gedeke, and then Tristan Wirfs got into it because, you know, Gedeke and Tristan Wirfs have became real close. Pewter report, Keenan Isaac makes an interception in one-on-one red zone drills covering Trey Palmer. Baker Mayfield was throwing, but the ball has to be thrown anyway in this drill, so don't think it should necessarily count towards his interceptions. I personally don't count it at all. It's just drills. That don't mean nothing to me. But it just means good play by Keenan Isaac covering Trey Palmer. And Keenan Isaac has, showed a little something, so that's good. Then you got Rachaad White over here doing up number 57. I don't know what linebacker that is, but that's not even a competition. So here's the thing that I wanted to talk about. Looks like D Miggity Mac in the building. Best Bucks coverage right here. I appreciate it, D Mac. I appreciate it. I'm not your average Buccaneers content creator, I'll tell you that. The more you pay, the more you stay watching me, you will see that I am not your average content creator. I'm a little bit a fanatic with it. Like a lot of people say they're a fanatic about the team. I'm a real fanatic about this team. I wake up, go to sleep, Buccaneers. Like I just gotta get the news, gotta see what's going on. I gotta break things down. It's crazy. It's kind of a sickness that I told myself. This is how bad it was. It's a sickness that I told myself in the off season that I was not going to do this YouTube no more. And I ended up creating a whole new YouTube channel, and now I'm at it again. And I was supposed to be done after last year. I was supposed to be it. That was it. I'm trying to get better. I'm not doing Bucks no more. I'm just not doing YouTube. I'm quitting I was literally trying to quit football, and I ended up making a whole new channel and doing this all over again. I have a problem. Okay, I have a problem. Anyways, first 11 on 11 period, and Kyle Trask is working with the first offense today, which means nothing, people. This means nothing. I could send you to rehab, but y'all don't want that. Cali Bucks in the building. Y'all don't want me to go. They try to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no. Yeah. So Trask is first up, 11 on 11s. It means nothing, right? Because whoever's first up in 11 on 11, it don't matter. They trade them off during the day anyways. No, both Kyle and Baker and even sometimes Walford, they all get reps with the first. They're all taking turns in different teams. Which I believe is a problem for one reason. But let's continue. Will Golston makes a good tackle for loss in 11 on 11s. Chase Edmonds then springs a great 20-plus yard run. Greg says Mayfield rotation in. Nice sideline throw to Godwin. Peter says Baker Mayfield hits Godwin for a 20-plus gain. Same play. Incredible interception made by safety Kedrick Whitehead Jr. Tight end Cole Keefe tried to make a diving catch on a throw by Kyle Trask and almost came up with it, but the ball popped up barely off the ground, and Whitehead was able to get under it to make the catch. Now, me personally, I don't put that against Trask. If you want to count it against Trask, you could count it against Trask. It don't matter. He got plenty of lead room in that department. But I don't put it in. He didn't put it in harm's way. Technically, the wide receiver put the ball in harm's way. It is what it is. It happens. Antoine Winfield Jr. was blitzing, would be a sack on Baker Mayfield. Bucks O-line is having a rough time today against the defensive line. Love hearing that. You love and hate that at the same time, right? You love and hate that at the same time. But then we got this. From the look of it, Trask has taken the majority of first team reps. Quarterback watch. It's the first time we've heard this. That one or the other is taking majority of first team reps. And at first, I was like, you know what? I think I need to make a video about that. I think I need to live stream about, because I was like, I'm not going to live stream today because, of course, I said it on my other live stream. There's pretty much nothing that can happen that I can come on here and be like, okay, so this is what we're finding out now. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. Baker probably has the play of the day, throwing it down the field, not really looking where he's throwing it, but just throwing it down the field, ends up having the play of the day. Kyle Trask is the one able to move the offense. Maybe he has a good red zone period. Maybe he has an okay red zone period, and maybe Baker beats him in the red zone period. That's pretty much all that happens, right? It's been the same practice over and over again. Baker ends up with the play of the day. We end up seeing it, and it was kind of the wide receiver that made the play, but whatever. Baker's not able to drive down the field. Kyle Trask is either able to drive down the field or he's able to drive down the field better than Baker, and he either has a good of a day as Baker in the red zone or Baker has a better day than him in the red zone. And Walford either has a day as good as Trask, or has a better red zone period than Trask. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's every day. It's been the same thing. The two guys has been the most consistent. Well, all three have been consistent, just not for the right reasons. Trask has been consistently steady of doing him. Walford has been consistently steady of being Walford, but then having a day where it's like, okay, oh, watch out for Walford. And Baker's had the consistent day of being Baker, what he's been doing. So there hasn't been much. So I wasn't going to go live today. Then I saw this and I said, maybe I should go live to talk about, does it mean something? Does it mean something that Trask is getting a lot more of the first team reps than Baker? And then at the end of the day, I was like, nah, I'm not going to make a whole live stream about that. I'll wait till tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow's practice says. But then we had heard the news, and I put two and two together, and I said, okay, we got to talk about it now. Another 11-on-11 period. Trask gets first shot, short completion to Evans and Palmer, tipped incompletion, short throw to David Moore, but not much working. Mayfield comes in, short throw to Tay Barber, sack/incompletion, conversion to tight end Dominique Daphne, screen to Sean Tucker, neither showing much downfield so far. Trask back in, short throw to Cade Warner, conversion to Daphne, tries deep for Russell Gage but overthrows. He hasn't found the deep ball yet in camp. And this is everybody. Oh, of course, yeah, of course I'll be reacting to the game live. Of course. You know, I'll be watching the game live with you guys. Come on now. But yeah, so talking about Trask not hitting the deep ball. Now, I said it, was it last stream? It was either last stream or the stream before. It was either last practice or the practice before that they started talking about Trask was missing down the field. And I had said that I've heard several reports that really Trask hasn't been given the opportunity to throw down the field. Baker's been the one having more plays down the field, but I was hearing from different sources that Trask really hasn't been given the opportunities. There haven't been a lot of plays of taking down the field. But then about last practice or the practice before, we started hearing, okay, Trask is starting to take some shots down the field. And I said, maybe they're finally letting him take some shots down the field, and now he's going to start working on that. He's working on killing the middle of the field. I'm hearing that, you know, and I've heard confirmation, right? I've heard confirmation that he's not just checking it down, that he's throwing 15-yarders, 20-yarders, like on a regular. He's throwing 20-yarders, 15-yarders. You know, obviously we're not hearing that for some reason, but on a regular, when he's driving down the field, he is checking it down. He is getting 5-yarders, but he is getting 10-yarders. He is getting 15-yarders. He's getting like good chunks too. Like he's not just a check down Charlie. So that's good. Shout out to Peter reporting on that. That's good. But he wasn't really throwing down the field. So I'm like, maybe they're not. Maybe they want to see. They don't want him to focus on that yet. Maybe they want to see him just do the middle of the field. Now, this also brings me to another situation that I've been hearing of another team, which is Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, right? Again, My ears are to the streets of a lot of teams right now. I'm listening to a lot of Miami Dolphins. I'm listening to a lot of 49ers. I'm listening to a lot of Giants. I'm listening to a lot of different teams right now. Trust me, my ears are everywhere. But they are right now, 49er fans are arguing about Trey Lance. They think Trey Lance should be the guy. They're mad that Brock Purdy is like, Kyle Shanahan is showing that he wants Brock Purdy to be the guy. 49er fans are pissed about it because they want Trey Lance to be the guy, even though he has never looked as good as Brock Purdy has looked in the season. One of them had said that Brock Purdy is not as good as Trey Lance throwing down the field. And they said that all that Brock Purdy is good at is hitting the medium throws in the middle of the field. Someone also said and brought up a great point that's pretty much and this is where you get the great coverage. Whoever said that earlier, one of the best great coverage in the game. This is where it comes. Kyle Shanahan's system, the meat of it is in the middle of the field. Medium throws in the middle of the field. That's the meat of the plays. That's the bread and butter of the plays. And everything else goes off of it. All the deep shots, it all plays off of you attacking the middle of the field, which would explain why, even though Brock Purdy doesn't look as good as Trey Lance throwing over the top, and why, even though Purdy isn't mobile like Trey Lance, he prefers Brock Purdy over Trey Lance because Trey Lance has trouble throwing in the middle of the field. It makes sense. If you watch the Miami Dolphins with Mike McDaniels in that offense, look at a lot of Tua's throws. Middle of the field, whether it's short medium or long medium or medium, middle of the field, and then they take them shots. It all plays off of the middle of the field. Rams, which our offense is more similar to the Rams, Kyle Shanahan, middle of the field. It's a lot of middle of the field. And this is what we're hearing that Trask is driving down the middle of the field. Medium throws, right? So it makes sense. So this brings me down to someone said, yes, Purdy is QB1. That's what I said, Billy. Shout out to Billy Badass. Billy is a 49er fan. Hopefully, as you can see, I got a lot of friends, different fan bases. Hopefully, he be putting up some 49er content because I like when my peoples put up football content, but we'll see how that happens. Rashad West says, anybody going to Bucks Colts game? I'm from Ohio and going to that one for sure. All right, that's what's up. Represent. But let me continue to what I'm saying because someone said earlier, no one said it on here. But here's the thing. So here's why I say all this, right? People, I just heard, again, another content creator talk about the quarterback position. And they keep talking about, listen, let's just cut to the chase. Right now, I think Trask is a shoo-in to be our starter. I honestly think Trask is going to start for us. There's only one thing that's in the way, and it's preseason. It's Trask. Put it like this. The same amount of distance that everyone believed that Baker was ahead of Trask, and the distance that people believed Trask would have to make up to have a chance, I believe the roles are reversed now. I truly believe the roles are reversed. I think Baker has a distance to travel to overtake Kyle Trask for a few reasons. One, we're starting to hear that Kyle Trask is taking more reps with the first team more than usual. That's sign one. Number two, could this be a sign that Baker's going first, Kyle Trask is playing in the second game? Doesn't mean anything, but could it mean something? I don't know. Both of these might not mean anything, but I will say this. when you talk about the quarterback competition right now, it is more than interceptions. And here's the thing. We've already talked about Trask is taking care of the ball. That's one. And he's way ahead when you talk about that. He's way ahead. Trask already is winning that when you talk about taking care of the ball. That's the number one thing. The second most important thing for this quarterback competition, who understands the play and who is using the play right. Once again, that's something Trask is doing vastly better than Baker. There's no competition here. It's something Trask is doing vastly better than Baker. He is moving down the field consistently more than Baker, and he is using the play better than Baker. He understands the plays better than Baker. Okay? Not only that's the second most important thing. Kyle Trask is ahead, like by a mile. He's ahead of him. Third most important thing. Who gets the ball out faster? Kyle Trask. Again, this is not a competition here. Kyle Trask. This is not a competition. The first three biggest things in this quarterback competition, Kyle Trask is exceedingly beating Baker Mayfield. And then it starts getting wishy-washy, right? Who more mobile? It's not by a mile, but once again, Kyle Trask is still better than Baker right now when we talk about the competition and being mobile. Who would have saw that coming? I don't even know if I saw that coming. That's one thing. Well, before that, I would say red zones is more important than scrambling. Right? Red zone would be more important than scrambling. Now that I would say Baker is a little bit ahead of Trask. I wouldn't say miles ahead. I would say a little bit. I definitely think he's had better altogether. If you was to count all the touchdowns together, I'm sure Baker Mayfield is beating Kyle Trask. When you talk about red zone, he's also turned over the ball in the red zone periods. So that makes the competition even closer, because having more touchdowns and having more interceptions in the red zone is not good. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, how can the red zone period not be as important as the other, the other three? Well, I'll tell you why. First of all, turnovers. If you can't protect the ball, you're probably never going to get to the end zone. That's one. Number two, knowing the playbook, using the play the way it's designed to use, knowing the offense. If you don't know that, you'll never get to the red zone to do what to be better than Trask. So it don't matter if you're better than Trask in the red zone. If you can't get to the red zone, why does it matter? Right? And what was the third one? The third one was... Forgot what the third one was. Taking care of the ball, playing, and that's probably bootlegging. I don't know. But yeah, I forgot what I said for the third one. But that's why I put the red zone there. I put the red zone right there. So, by all means, man, listen, having the big plays does not matter. Especially when you're outplaying Trask because you're just throwing the ball up. That doesn't count in my opinion. But let's go back to this. Kyle Trask going in and going out. I believe, now I could be wrong. We will find out tomorrow. But I believe that they are giving Kyle Trask more reps with the ones because they're trying to get the chemistry down. That's what I think it is. I think they're trying to get Kyle Trask's chemistry down the field better. So they're trying to give him more reps. I think they already see, listen, Baker's just not, he's not running the offense. He's not running it. He's playing football. He's playing backyard football, and he's playing football. He's holding on to the ball. That's what it was. That was number 3. Holding on to the ball too long. He's holding on to the ball too long. He's just throwing it up. He's not running the play. So if they already see that and they're like, what, I don't know, a week, this is about to be week 2 now? 2 weeks in? and it's still like leaps and bounds. Kyle Trask is doing what we want him to do. He's running the play the way we need him to run the play. They got to start, okay, we're starting, I think they're starting to lean over there. They're starting to get over there and saying, let's start giving him more reps so he can start getting that chemistry. Because if Kyle Trask starts hitting down the field, the quarterback competition is over. It is over. I personally believe it's over right now because both quarterbacks aren't hitting down the field. And again, I believe that's because of chemistry. They're both going in and out. They're with group 1, group 2, group 3, group 1, group 2, group 3. Those are a whole bunch of different sizes, a whole bunch of different speeds to throw over the top. That's different chemistries. They got to learn all of them. It's not easy. So I think they're starting to say, okay, we wanted to see who can take care of the ball. We wanted to see who can run the offense best right now. And who gets the ball out the fastest? Right now, Kyle Trask is checking all the boxes. Both of the quarterbacks aren't doing so good throwing over the top, but that could be a chemistry and a connection situation. Now we got to start pushing over here and let him get a chemistry and see if we could get that deep ball connection because the season's coming up. And that's what I think is happening. Now, again, I could be wrong. We will find out tomorrow. See if there's a little bit more of Kyle Trask is playing a little bit more with the ones. Not only that, but this would be like day 3 of Kyle Trask, or actually day 4 tomorrow of Kyle Trask trying to throw over the top. And let's see if he starts connecting. Once again, preseason games can completely turn all this upside down. We will see. But it would have to be a pretty good showing by Baker and a pretty bad showing by Trask. Now, there's a difference, right? If Baker is running around, because this is what people are going to think. If Baker is running around, finding guys open, playing backyard football, and his stats end up better than Trask, but Trask is not running around. Trask is taking what the defense gives him. Trask is checking it down. Trask is, not moving the chains as much, but he's playing the offense within the offense. I guarantee you that's going to be better than how they feel about Baker running around playing backyard football. That's not what they want. They don't want their quarterback running around playing backyard football. They want their quarterback be in the pocket, deliver right away, get rid of the ball, make a decision, get rid of the ball, know where the ball's going, get rid of the ball, pre-read, get rid of that's what they want. They do not want a quarterback that's going to run around. Trust me, Todd Bowles don't want a quarterback that's going to run around. You know why? Because he knows if you have a quarterback like that, I'm sending blitzes, you're not getting away, bro. We're gonna mess up your whole game plan. You're not going to be able to offensively continue to do that against us. Like if Baker was on somebody else's team trying to do that, Todd Bowles would just bottle him up and be like, your offense is done. You're showing us you can't run the offense within the pocket. Oh, we're going to keep you in the pocket. You're done. And we're going to send the blitzes. So even though some fans might see that game and then see Trask's game and be like, oh, Baker did better. No, his stats might be better, but who ran the better offense? That's what you guys got to keep in mind when we watch the preseason games. But we'll be watching it together. Let's get to some of these comments and we'll go back to Twitter. I need to see them both. Yes. Did they give up a lot of draft? Yeah, they did. They gave up a lot of draft picks for that Trey Lance. Watching Brady did help Trask, so I'm glad he actually learned something. Yes. Again, I don't know if it was Brady, but I would like to think it's Brady. The whole, he's not throwing down the field as much as people would like him to be throwing down the field. Like Brady, hey, I'm just going to take what the defense gives us. Clack 5 White in the building. Now we got to see it in a live game. Trask code true. We got QB1. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, if all Trask has to do, which I don't believe it's hard, All Trask has to do is do what he's been doing in practice. That's not hard. We saw, think about this, people. We saw Kyle Trask in a way harder system, the BA system, with way worse weapons, a whole bunch of short, small guys. And the only one that he had that was good was Tyler Johnson. And with Tyler Johnson was looking like a starter with Trask under center. And a terrible O-line. And here's the thing that is crazy. People make all the excuses for Tom Brady with that O-line that he had, and that starting O-line that Brady had was still not the third team O-line that Trask had to go into preseason with. So Trask had to use the same offense that Brady was struggling with, that people like to say, oh, he's struggling because of the O-line. Well, Trask had the third string O-line, not even the O-line Brady had during the season, and still looked better than Brady. People seem to forget that Dolphin preseason game where he drove down the field for the game-winning field goal. The two fourth and longs he had to zip, bam, to get that first down, and then another fourth and long, zip, bam, to get that first down, to get the game-winning field goal. Now he missed it, he missed the field goal, but still, he did his job. People forget that perfect pass over the top to Stern. Remember that perfect dime he dropped to Stern for the touchdown? This was all behind a terrible line. So we've seen Kyle Trask in preseason before, and he's looked okay. And that was the old Kyle Trask, when he didn't get no reps in training camp. 0 reps in training camp. Crappy weapons, not like the weapons he'll be throwing to even in the second team. He'll be throwing to better weapons than those weapons he was throwing to. Better O-line, even if it's the second team O-line, better O-line. A way easier playbook and offensive scheme. I don't expect Trask to do too bad at all, to be honest. Now, here's another kicker. Here's something that I am worried about. I don't know too much about Baker's, about the Pittsburgh Steelers' second team defense. I don't know. But I could be wrong about the Jets' second team defense, but I do feel like it would probably be better than the Steelers. I know for a fact they will have, McDonald, that guy that they drafted, playing, and he's probably going to eat one of the tackles if Trask has the second team. So I'm a little worried about Trask having more pressure against him than Baker would be having against the Steelers. I don't know. That's just my thought. Obviously, we have no idea till the games are played. But if I feel like the defense was tougher on Baker than the defense was on Trask, I'll say that. If I feel like Baker was under a lot more pressure against the Steelers than Trask was under with the Jets, I'll say it. I have no problem saying what the truth is. I'll say it. But that's what I'm worried about. That's another thing I'm worried about. Maybe Trask doesn't look so hot, but that defense is humming. Now, here's another thing that I was thinking about. We will have practice with the Jets. We'll have joint practice with the Jets. So, because of that, does Kyle Trask, there's a few things. Does Kyle Trask preseason game mean as much as the joint practice? Because they like to say you get a lot more work from the joint practice than anything. So think about that. Are they being slick? Because there's two things. One, the Jets are on Hard Knocks. Are we just putting our QB1 on Hard Knocks? Because again, Baker is going to preseason 1. Trask is going to be in preseason 2. We have joint practice with the Jets in preseason 2 game. Does Trask have more reps with the ones there? Does the preseason, the joint practice mean more than the preseason game? So the preseason game won't really matter. So in a way, it kind of takes away some stuff from Trask. Or does Trask feel better? Does it help Trask because he already goes through them in preseason, in the joint practice? So he'll feel a lot more comfortable in the preseason game because he already went basically against them in the joint practices. There's a lot of different ways to look at this, which is why I was like, you know what, I think we should go live because it's just different ways to look at things. Rashad says Trask versus AR-15 gonna be nuts too. Florida guys going head to head. Yes. Keep doubting Baker. He will make you eat crow. Baker has always had to fight for the job. Walked on the Texas Tech, won the job, and then walked on Oklahoma and won the job. Everybody doubts him. It's not that, I do doubt him, but it's not for no reason. It's because of what he's doing. And it's because of when I watched the tape. And not only that, okay, and here's the other part. Not only is Cal Trask protecting the ball more, not only is Cal Trask running the offense better and seems like he knows the playbook better, not only is Cal Trask getting rid of the ball faster than Baker, not only is Cal Trask using his legs and bootlegs better than Baker, but also that's already 4 things that he's doing way better than Baker. And again, here's the other. Let me finish this part. But there's also something that hasn't been reported as much, that if you listen close enough, you'll hear it. But Baker is having a lot of batted balls. A lot. We talked about this before. This is something that Panther fans have came on here and talked about to us. And I've came on here and said, shush, we're not worried about that right now. Right now we're worried about the competition. We'll worry about that in the regular season. But it's happened in the competition, and it's something that a couple of people are saying it's happening a little too much, to where it's starting to become a concern, to where they're starting to talk about Baker's height. Because now people are saying, well, Cal Trask has the height advantage as well. No one talked about Cal Trask's height before. Now people are starting to talk about Cal Trask's height, because they're trying to give the excuse of why Baker's getting his ball batted so much, which I've said many times. Obviously, height does play a role in it, but you can be tall and still get your balls batted down. And if you want to be honest, the people that get their balls batted down the most are the taller quarterbacks. That's a rare stat. But again, this is something that's happening with Baker right now that not a lot of people, they're really not texting that. Unless they text that, tweeting. They're really not tweeting it unless they tweet it because it ended up in an interception. Besides that, they're not really tweeting all the batted balls. But if you listen to people who have podcasts and stuff, they're saying, and people that have been there at camp, they're saying, and there's a lot of batted balls. So there's a lot of stuff. It's not just like, oh, I don't like him, so I'm doubting him. There's just a lot of things that's just not adding up to me believing that he can win this competition. White says, so Trask starts second preseason, GM, Jets plus practice. Yes, practice against Jets. Yes, let the best man win at this point. That's all we can do. Rodgers isn't from Florida. Brady brought us a Super Bowl, so I'm not going to trash him. We were done before Brady came here. I'll trash Brad Johnson, though. Brad Johnson was a bum. Now, why would you not trash Brady and then trash Brad? Brad did his thing, too. That's a good point. They could be setting Trask up for success by letting him practice versus the Jets and then playing them in game 2. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that keeps getting lost. And Every Buccaneers content creator that's talking about this quarterback position, here's the one thing that I have to keep bringing up that seems to get lost in all of this. We're talking about a year 5 quarterback versus a year, 3? Really, it's year 1. Let's be honest. Let's just be truthful. It's really year 1. This is his first real training camp. So we're talking about a quarterback that's had 4 or 5 real training camps, and this against Kyle Trask, who's only had 1 real training camp. And he's this much ahead. What does that say? Now, Baker could end up winning the starting job, and I could still sit here and say Kyle Trask's future is way brighter than Baker. We already see it now. We see it right now that Trask is already better than Baker. He should have a better career than Baker if he goes to the right place, obviously, right? Because anybody can kill a quarterback's career. But Trask already shows that he could be better than Baker. And this is year 1. Year 1 of a real, true training camp. Year 1 where everyone said, man, he seems like a different quarterback. It's only year 1. Imagine how he's going to feel year 2. People talk about, Baker's, these throws down the field. The fade route to Mike Evans. What Baker's doing is he's using things that Kyle Trask has not learned yet. Things that you can only learn in games. In games. He hasn't had a chance to. Things like, if the cornerback's back to you, then the wide receiver's open. Things like, if they're even, then he's leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like little things, little tips and tricks that Baker has learned just by playing the game, where he's learned, I can throw this ball and it seems like he's open. I mean, it seems like he's covered, but he's really open because I've played so many games. I know that I can get away with this. Trask still doesn't know what he can get away with. Trask still has no idea what he could get away with in the NFL. So again, there's still another leap that Trask can take just by playing in the season. And this is why I'm excited, because listen, if it happens to where somehow Baker, he ends up starting and then Kyle Trask goes, listen, I'll tell you right now, if Baker starts, he's not going to finish the season. I have maybe my mind changes after the preseason game, but right now I have no faith in Baker finishing the season. I just don't. I don't have faith in Baker not throwing an interception in preseason game. I just don't. So I expect Trask to either start or finish the end of the season. And if that happens, don't be surprised if we just say Trask is our guy and we go on from there. I'm thinking way ahead, but whatever. Let's continue. Of course, he's short. That's why a taller quarterback, if Trask has truly improved, height matters in the NFL. If that's a stat that only because a shorter quarterback holds the ball longer until they see a clear field. Well, not only that, but the defenders can't see the quarterback, as well as you can see a tall quarterback cocking back, getting ready to throw it. Because that defense had 4 Hall of Famers, the Buccaneers should have been a dynasty with that defense. Only 1 Super Bowl is because the quarterback was average. Yeah, but we won the Super Bowl the year Brad Johnson got there. It wasn't like Brad Johnson was there the whole time. Brad Johnson got there when John Gruden got there. It's obvious the Buccaneers should have had more Super Bowls with that defense. Yeah, that wasn't Brad Johnson's fault. When Brad Johnson got there, we won the Super Bowl. I mean, am I wrong? I believe Brad Johnson got there when John Gruden got there, which means when he got there, we won the Super Bowl. I don't think Brad Johnson got there before John Gruden. Am I wrong? I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think I'm wrong. Someone might want to check that. Let's continue with Let's continue with, let's see. Mayfield comes in short, throw to Tay Barber, sack / incompletion. Conversion to tight end Dominique Daphne, screen to Sean Tucker, neither showing much downfield so far. Trask back in, short throw to Cade Warner, conversion to Daphne, tries deep for Russell Gage but overthrows. He hasn't found the deep ball yet in camp. Trask to Gage was held. So yeah, so there's a deep ball right there. Was Gage held? He looked like he might have been holding them. Let's break this down. It was a good time to take the shot. Yeah, right there, he's holding his hand. He's holding his arm. Yeah, he held his arm. So, hey, maybe he would have hit him, you know? Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But a good shot wasn't in harm's way. Devin Tompkins makes an exceptional catch on the deep ball from John Wolford with Josh Hayes in coverage. Tompkins jumped high up with Hayes all over him and made the catch. Look, this guy's just being crazy. Devin Tompkins is a problem out here today. Devin Tompkins is just that guy right now. He's just really doing his thing. Baker reps appear to be with the number 2s. So yeah, here's another guy saying that Baker's doing a lot more reps with the 2s.
Back in the good old days. Or the bad old days if he wanted to win football games.
Now I want to see, was there a better option?
Back in the good old days. Or the bad old days if he wanted to win football games.
It looks like the Sean Tucker.
I grew up in the suburbs. So.
I did too. I used to go. I used to watch the Freaks way back in the day, man. Where we're sitting right now, my parents had a. Man, I grew up in the suburbs. So.
All right, can't really see too much there. Let's see. Devin Tompkins steals the ball. Can't take your helmet off though.
Oh, he caught it. Oh.
That should have been a pick, really. He snatched it, but that should have been a pick.
Oh, he caught it.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Red zone period. Trask has first crack at it. Short passes to get to the goal line. Edmonds rushes it. Rushes touchdown. Baker pass broken up. Yeah, got tipped. Looked like he was thrown with the going against the ones. Kind of threw it into traffic there. Mayfield tries to throw it in traffic to Palmer in red zone, but multiple defenders got hands to break it up. Lob to Evans, back corner with Davis on him, and he catches it but didn't get both feet in. Baker just dropped a beautiful fade to Mike Evans for a TD in the back corner for the end zone. Patrick Laird follows blockers into the end zone, so both quarterbacks converted in red zone, but with the running back scores. This is the throw to Mike Evans, but he didn't have both feet in. Yeah, he didn't get his feet in. Probably would have if it was a real game. Kicker period. Chase McLaughlin goes first, hits all 4. So we got a kicker competition. I really don't care about that until preseason as well. Final period, 11 on 11. Trask, nice throw to Jarrett, dropped by Palmer, screen to Rashad White. And then that's all we hear from that. Mayfield in first pass tipped but goes to tight end. David Wells for a nice gain. Next pass also barely tipped at line and completed to Chase Edmonds. Missed deep for Payne Durham. So 2 tips in a row. Dropped interception thrown by Trask, bobbled up in the air, and 2 defenders missed it. So that one I would count as an interception for Trask because he put it in harm's way. Dropped interception. I mean, we don't know what the play looked like, but like I said, I mean, we could put it on Trask. It don't matter at this point. K. Dotton hits Nolan Turner to break up a potential Trask interception. Downfield offense hasn't clicked much either with quarterback. That's the same play. Baker Mayfield connects with Buccaneers wide receiver Mike. That's the one we saw already. Mayfield hits Mike Evans in the tight window. Low completion to Barber. Short throw to Palmer. Baker Mayfield with a great rollout to Chris Godwin. Stride to the sideline. And that's pretty much it. Greg Allman pretty much says at the end, offense was kind of mad today. That's kind of been like three practices in a row where the offense is like, meh. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. I think the offense been meh because I think they're focusing on trying to hit the deep shot. I think that's been... Sorry, hold on. I think... I think that the coaching staff, I think Dave Canellis has emphasized hitting more deep shots. I think that they're practicing on that. Whether it's, them telling them to do that or the defense like Bose is letting him know, hey, we're going to do a lot more cover ones. So now is the time to practice on the deep shots. And I think now that they're starting to practice a little bit more hitting the deep shots because there's been a lot more calls of took a shot. These last 2 practices, there've been a lot more calls of him taking shots and stuff. So, both of them, Baker and Trask, but mainly Trask, because again, before that, Trask wasn't taking no shots at all. But they said that they weren't really giving him place to take shots. So I don't know, but we'll see how this continues to play on, or play out, I should say. Where were we? We could have went back to back. Oh, he was there for 2001 to 2004. He threw 21 interceptions the following year in 2003. And like I say, he was an average quarterback. Yeah, he was an average quarterback, but still, he gave us a championship. So I can't never say nothing bad about him. Tampa Bay Rays fan in the building. I heard Mayfield and Trask will be alternating starts in preseason. Now, I hope so. What I heard was Baker's doing preseason 1 and Trask is doing preseason 2. Now, maybe what they meant was Baker is starting preseason 1 and then they'll go back and forth like they've been doing in practice. And then Trask is starting preseason 2 and then they'll go back. That I would love. That's what I hope happens. But what I've heard is that Baker's doing preseason 1 and Trask is doing preseason 2. So I don't know. We'll see. And this is out there now. So I'm pretty sure Todd Bowles is going to elaborate more when the press conference comes tomorrow. So we'll see more. With Tompkins looking good so far in camp, is he still the main return guy and also get a look at the number 4 wide receiver? Yes. He will. He should be the return guy, and he's more than likely going to be receiver number 4. Receiver number 4 or receiver number 5. Depends on Trey Palmer. They're looking at Trey Palmer as the return guy as well, but I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being Devin Tompkins. But we will see. Again, preseason is going to be huge for those guys because it's really those are the battles right there. It's Devin Tompkins versus Trey Palmer. Who's getting wide receiver number 4? Who's getting the punt return job? That's the big battle. And then, because both of them are going to make the team. And then the other battle is, do we keep Raheem or do we keep David Moore? Do we keep the upside or do we keep the guy that, knows the system? The veteran. So we'll see how that works. White says the second game may not play any starters. So, and again, if that's the case, they should alternate in both the games. Baker starts the first possession with the starters, gets one possession, and then Trask gets one possession with the starters, and then after that, Baker and Trask just go back and forth with the second and third team. That's what should happen. And then in game 2, the starters shouldn't do nothing, and then they go back and forth with the second and third team, or vice versa. Starters should play in the second game and then go back. Actually, I prefer them to start in the first game. That way, they get a week of healing if they get any bumps or bruises, and then they can play the dress rehearsal on the third game if they feel like they need to, and then they have another week of resting again before the season. So numbers are 160. Yeah, dude won us a championship. That's all that needs to be said. It's calling what it is. Brady was old. It's not dumping on him. I mean, everybody gets old. Just because you're saying that someone got old doesn't mean you're hating on him. That you're just saying what it is. He was old. Just like I can say Brad Johnson was average quarterback, but Brad Johnson did his job. Like I will never crap on Brad Johnson. He's an average quarterback that won a Super Bowl for us, our first Super Bowl. I would never talk crap about Brad Johnson. Now, I can talk crap about Brady, which I don't even talk crap about Brady. I just break him down. I don't even talk crap about him. I just say what it is. Like, he couldn't throw deep anymore. He got old. It is what it is. It's not crapping on him. It's just telling you what the tape shows. It is what it is. People get mad at it. I prefer Baker gets first and Trask 2s for game 1 and the reverse for game 2. I don't want my starters, but here's the thing. I don't want my starters to play 2 different games. That's one. It's bad. I rather my starters play 2 possessions in one game than play 1 possession in 2 different games. That's what I rather. But again, whatever, man. I have a feeling it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a feeling it's not gonna matter. I have a feeling that whether Baker starts with the first or whatever, I have a feeling it's not gonna matter, because Baker might look a certain way with Mike Evans by just throwing it to Mike Evans or just throwing it to Chris Godwin. But when the second team comes out, you're going to see what is he a real quarterback or was he just throwing it? And again, I think that's all that's going to matter to these coaches. I don't think these coaches are going to sit there and be like, oh, look at his stats. No, I think the coaches are going to sit there, look at the tape and say, who's running the offense? Baker's playing backyard football. Trask is running the offense. That's our guy. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think it's really going to be stats compared to stats, unless it's like a landslide, right? Unless it's like Trask is not moving the offense and Baker's playing backyard football, but at least he's moving the offense and scoring touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Then if it's like that, then okay, then the backyard football can work. But if both of them are moving the football in different ways, but Trask is just throwing it up, getting down the field by throwing it up, they're going to go with the guy that's using the play and the scheme to get down the field. They're not going to go with the guy that's playing backyard football. It's just not, they're not going to do that. Buckhead in the building. What it do, G? Rooting for K2. Hey, man, you know what? I'm just rooting for the best quarterback. I'm rooting for the best quarterback for us. But I'll say this, man, no matter what, listen, this is only year 1 for Trask. In reality, it's only year 1. So we'll see. We'll see. Do me a favor, guys. We got 22 people in the building. If you haven't yet please, please, please do your part to help out the channel and hit that like button. It's free. It don't cost you no money to do it. Just show some love to the channel. Hit the like button. If you're watching this and it's not live, comment in the comment section. Give me some of your opinions. Comment in the comment section. It also hit the like button, but it also helps the algorithm when you comment in the comment section. It lets the YouTube know that people are interacting, and then it starts throwing it out to more Buck fans. And the more Buck fans we have on here, the better content we have, the more Buck talks we have, the more opinions, the more the channel gets better. You know what I'm saying? We get more opinions and different point of views, and that's what this channel is about. It's about growing. It's about learning the team. It's about having as much information as we can possibly have about our players and our team and our coaching staff. That way we can go into the season with our eyes open and not closed and blinded and get blindsided by something we didn't think about. White says it's about practice quarterback game 2, if not starters. It's about the practice QB game 2, if not starters. I'm a little confused. Cali Buck says if Trask is good, he needs to show it with whoever on the field. Exactly. I agree with you, Bucks. I agree with you, Cali Bucks. Buckhead says Brady gets called old, and that's considered taking shots. LMO, stop. It's reality. Also, seeing Trask against the Jets D will be a hell of a test. Yes. 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 Agreed on all fronts. The calling Brady old is not taking shots. It just is what it is. Just saying what it is, man. It's not. It's taking shots. I appreciate everything Brady did for us. Cali Buck says everyone grows old. Of course, he lost a step to call out Brady for being old isn't fair. Let's call a spade. Then Brady was old and Brad was again. Listen. Brad did his part. I don't know why you want to bring Brad down. He did his part to win us a championship. Why do we have to bring him down? Saying he is a bum is an opinion. Saying Brady got old is not an opinion. That's a fact, okay? Anyway, you don't have to agree with me. I just want equality for quarterbacks. Let's not call one quarterback out and then sugarcoat another one. Just saying a bum is a little bit, that's a little bit, you know, there's no stat that says you're a bum, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. He just didn't have a good year. If you want to break it all the way down, like, all quarterbacks have bad years, you know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, man. But yeah, so let me go over the quick version real quick of what we've talked about, since we got 25 people right now. Hold on. Cali Bucks is on a mission right now. I got a Bucks 4 Hall of Famers on defense and winning 1 Super Bowl isn't good. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Can't win them all, bro. It is what it is. What was I gonna say? So let's go over real quick, right? I truly believe that Kyle Trask is way ahead of this competition. You guys got a poll when you got in the chat room, and the poll was, what percentage do you think Baker has to win the quarterback job? And I broke it down. Let me see it real quick. I broke it down 80 to 90%, 60 to 70%, 40 to 50%, or 20 to 30%. 18% says 80 to 90% Baker has a chance to win the job. 60 to 70%, 36% says 60 to 70% Baker has a chance. Another 36% says 40 to 50% has a chance, and only 9% says 20 to 30% has a chance to win the job. So a lot of people still think this is a pretty close race, which, you know, not looking at anything else, I would agree 60 to 70% or maybe even 40 to 50%. But with me and my vibes, with me and things that are being made, moves that are being made, Kyle Trask having a little bit more reps than usual today, and Baker having a little bit more reps with the twos today than usual, I think I think, and knowing what I know about Trask and knowing what I know about Baker, what they've been doing in camp, I think that Baker has a 30% chance of winning this competition. And I think that 70% of this test, right? Like if you were in school, right? 30% of your grade is going to be your classroom work and your homework. That's going to be 30%, right? You got what? 20% all the classroom stuff. 10% of your grade is going to be the homework stuff, and 70% is going to be your tests. Preseason is the test. So preseason is going to be 70% of this quarterback competition. I do not, even though that's a big chunk of this quarterback position, I do not think the difference between Trask and Baker in the preseason will be big enough for Trask to catch up. The amount of dust that Baker would have to leave Kyle Trask in the preseason game, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Now, I think it's possible for Kyle Trask to do his part in being bad, right? And the only reason why I say that is because I'm still worried about Kyle Trask and fumbling. That was the one thing from last year that I was like, Kyle Trask got to get better, right? Getting sacked, the ball coming out, them picking up the ball for a turnover. Now, bear in mind you, again, Kyle Trask didn't have no type of O-line to help him in last year's preseason game. He will have a better O-line. And his playbook that he's actually running, his offense that he's running in this preseason is going to be way faster and way easier than last year's playbook in offense he was trying to run. And his weapons will be a lot better than the weapons he was trying to fit it into last year. So that should help. But I won't sit here and act like it's not possible for Kyle Trask to have a bad game and help Baker jump ahead and come back in this competition. It's possible, but I think it's very slim. And not only that, I just can't help but to feel like everything we've been seeing in training camp, all the bad stuff of Baker, we're going to see that in the game as well. The only way that we don't is if Baker plays a lot of backyard football, which could happen. But if Baker plays backyard football and Trask just plays anywhere near what he's been doing in practice, the competition is over and Trask is winning. Trask, now, the way that we said this job is Baker Mayfield's to lose in the beginning of training camp, in the beginning of OTAs, when everyone said this job is Baker Mayfield's to lose, everyone agreed, including me. It was Baker Mayfield's job to lose. The only difference that I was saying was don't count Trask out just yet. We don't know what Trask is. That was the one difference that I was arguing with people. We do know you don't. You don't know what Trask is. Don't count him out yet. Now we're at the point where the roles are reversed. This is Kyle Trask's job to lose. I truly believe it. I believe it. I believe this is what the coaches are thinking. I believe this is what Todd Bowles is thinking. I believe this is what Dave Canales is thinking. This job is Kyle Trask to lose now. But just like I gave Kyle Trask the benefit of the doubt and said, don't count him out just yet. You still have to give Baker that same don't count him out just yet, because sometimes a guy is just a gamer. And now you know that I'm here and I'm fair to both quarterbacks. I've given both quarterbacks chances. I've said what's good about one quarterback, what's good about the other quarterback. We talked about what's bad about each. I'm giving both quarterbacks their dues. I'm giving them a playing field. I'm giving them the same playing field. It is not my fault that when I talk about what's happening in camp, that it ends up like this for Trask. Yes, I do want Trask to win. Don't get it twisted. But I am not saying the things I am saying because I want Trask to win. I am putting them on even playing field, and I'm calling what I see the same way on both sides. It just happens to be looking like this because this is how camp is going for one quarterback and the other quarterback. But again, I do think this is for Trask to lose now. The job is Trask's to lose. And I think Baker's last chance is now the preseason. It's his last chance. My concern of the O-line that comes down the tackle position with Wirfs and Gadecki. I'm not too concerned with Wirfs. I mean, I know it seems like we should be, but I just think he's a perfectionist and he's just really worried. But I think he'll be fine. TB says 30% chance for Baker. A bold statement, but I do hope it plays out that way. We'll see. B. Flint in the building. You're saying some ish. Good stream. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you're enjoying Bucks Top. Give me some opinions, man. Like I said, we talk about everything. I try not to act like I know it all, even though I feel like I do. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm open to everybody's opinion. If you see something that you think I'm not seeing, let me know. I will listen. I'm here like, okay, I see your point. If I agree with you, I will agree with you. If I don't, I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with you. But I'm not the type that's just going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're just pulling stuff out your butt, which I will tell you if you are. Because again, I watch tape. Listen, when people come on here, this is the thing about my channel. When people come on here and just say things that they've heard beat writers say, I don't care if every beat writer in Tampa said the same thing. If I go and watch tape and see that they're wrong, I'm going to tell you, you're wrong, just like the beat writers, just like ESPN, just like everybody else that's too lazy to watch tape and find out if that narrative is true. I watch tape. I will go and see and break, and I'll live stream it when I watch tape. I watch it with you guys. I'll show you my breakdown. I've broke down Tom Brady, and people got mad at me for breaking down Tom Brady. It's on my old channel, and everyone's like, you're hating on Brady. You're hating on Brady. You don't even know that's the GOAT. You think you know more than the GOAT. And then I turned around and found Kurt Warner breaking down the exact same film and said the exact same thing I said. So believe me when I tell you, I will, if there's a narrative going around, I will go and see if that narrative is true. Like the whole Marshawn Lattimore locking up Mike Evans. That's a false narrative. Marshawn Lattimore, and I have tape to prove it as well. I got tape on my old channel. I watched it with my OG day ones. We broke it down. Marshawn Lattimore cannot hold Mike Evans one-on-one. The only time Marshawn Lattimore can lock down Mike Evans is when he has safety over the top. He cannot hold Mike Evans one-on-one by himself. He gets eaten for touchdowns every time. This is why Fitzpatrick went off on him, because they said, oh, Fitzpatrick ain't going to hit the deep shot. And they let Lattimore one-on-one. They never let him do that again after that game when Fitzpatrick went off on him. This is why they stayed in cover 2 until last year with Brady was the only time again that they ever stayed in cover 1, because Brady couldn't hit the deep shot over the top. I be breaking things down, Flint. Like, I break things all the way down. If there's a narrative that I'm like, let me see if this narrative is true, I will go look for it and break it down. I don't care what PFF says. I don't care what all the beat writers say. I will go watch the tape and see if they're lying. In college, the tests are 60% of your grade. I was never good in school, Cali Bucks. Come on. I was the kid ditching, so, It is what it is. Speaking of that, I gotta call my daughter because my daughter had her first day at middle school today, so that was a big day. I gotta see how she was. Flint says, been saying this. He showed me all I needed to see at the Panthers. K2. All right. Didn't he only fumble it once? I mean, it was a bad fumble ball, just fell out of his hand. Not sure. I could have sworn it was more than once, but I could have been once. It could have been once. I'm not exactly sure though. Stephen Pryor in the building. He said, yo, what it do? Buckhead says, if it's close, I think they'll give it to Baker, purely because he is most experienced, so I think Trask has to absolutely shred the Jets convincingly. This is just exciting either way. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 50-50. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, I don't think so, because I can see that happening. Now, I will say this, though, Buckhead. I think a lot of people are falling on that sword because they feel like Todd Bowles is on the hot seat more than he actually is. I don't think Todd Bowles is on the hot seat as much as people think. And if he is not on the hot seat as much as people think, there's no reason for him to say, well, Kyle Trask showed a great leap in his first real training camp. He showed up. I mean, you hear it from everybody, beat writers, coaches, Kyle Trask himself. Everybody said the same thing. It's not the same guy. It's not the same guy. So if he took this leap in one good training camp, one offseason and one good training camp, I would not look past Todd Bowles saying, you know what? Let's let Trask play out this season and see how much better he gets. How high is his ceiling? We don't know. We don't know how high his ceiling is. So if he got this better without any games under his belt, you know what? Let's go with the season with him. And let's just see what he does. Now, if he's just failing first 4 games and we don't see nothing from him and he's just like, oh man, he's terrible in the first 4 games, go to Trask. Try to win some games after that. But if he's doing his job and we're not losing games because of him, like, of course we're going to lose maybe 2 or 3 games because of him, of course. But you know what I'm saying? If it's consistently like, oh, he's doing all right. He's moving the ball. We just, he couldn't get that 4th quarter drive, or if it wasn't for that one pick or if it wasn't for that one drive, we probably could have won that game. If it's something where it's like he's fighting, he's showing growth and he's fighting, play out the season with him. And at the end of the season, if you don't feel like, he's grown enough where I believe we can, this Trask that we have right now at the end of the season, if we don't believe that we can go into next season with him, then let's go draft a quarterback. That's simple. Might as well, if they're, again, I can see them saying, well, they're tied, let's go with the experienced guy. I can see that. Maybe Bowles does feel like he's on the hot seat. I can see that. I personally don't think he's on the hot seat. And if he's not really on the hot seat like people think he is, I can see him saying, this is what we wanted. We wanted to see what this guy is. He did as good as a 4-year veteran in a training camp battle. They're pretty much the same. Let's continue to see what he is. Let's continue to see how high his ceiling is, how much he grows. Let's go on with the season. And again, if he seems competent and he's able to actually keep us in some games and do some things here and there, even if he costs us 2, 3, 4 games, let's go with him. Let's see what we got with him. And at the end of the season, we make our evaluation. Did we see enough upside to continue? Or do we say, even if he does have a little upside, it's still not enough. Then let's go draft a quarterback. That's how I see it. But it could go either way, Buckhead. It could definitely go either way. You think they'll announce QB1 before game 3? Yes. Yes, I do. I for sure, pretty much, yes. Pretty much, yes. You saying some ish. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Tampa Bay Rays fan says, I was that person that sent you the Kurt Warner film last year. Yes, and am I lying, Tampa Bay Rays fan? Am I lying? I said a lot of stuff people didn't like that I was saying about Brady. And then when you saw the Kurt Warner film and you told me about it, did he not say the exact same stuff I was literally saying? That's when I said, you know what? I'm not listening to nobody anymore that tells me I don't know what I'm saying. Like when Kurt Warner was literally saying on the same plays, the same route concepts, the same thing I was saying, I was like, I'm no longer listening to someone that tells me I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, obviously, I know something. Obviously, I've been watching this game and breaking down film long enough that I'm saying the exact same thing Kurt Warner is saying. So, Todd isn't on the hot seat, in my opinion. That's media-driven narrative that pisses me off, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I hear you on that. My thing is, if it's close, why give it to Baker? Why give it to Baker? A 5-year vet shouldn't be in a close competition with a rook with no actual NFL experience. That tells me the upside for the rook could be much better. Bingo. Bingo. Cali Buck says the best thing that could happen to the Buccaneers is for Trash to be ready to take over. Yeah. I mean, listen, people, we might go into preseason and leave preseason 1 or preseason 2. Listen, if it goes back and forth like Baker then Trask in preseason 1, we might leave preseason 1 saying game over. It's Trask. And I promise you this. If that happens where they're going back and forth, Baker then Traskin, then Baker in, then Traskin, whether it's the first or the seconds, if they do that in preseason 1, I guarantee you they'll call it. I guarantee you. Like right now, I'm just predicting. I have no idea, but right now I'm predicting that they're leaning towards Trask and that they feel like it's Trask to win. I mean, it's Trask's job to lose. I'm predicting that. I don't know. That's just the vibes I'm getting right now from everything, the way everything's looking. But I promise you, if they go back and forth with Trask and Baker in preseason 1, and all of Buck Nation comes away with the preseason 1 game saying, yo, Trask is our quarterback, I guarantee you they will either say he's QB1 or they won't say it, but they know he's QB1. And week 2 don't even matter. I promise you. Warner was dead on the money. Yeah, I agree with you about Brady, but we can't keep saying it. I hear you. Really think Kyle Trask wins job? I mean, I think he has the inside track, man. I think he definitely has the inside track. Well, it's getting late. Like I said, I gotta call my baby. She had her first day today in middle school. Listen, great stream. Again, if you haven't yet, do me a favor, show some love, hit that like button. Helps out the channel and the algorithm. If you're watching this and it's not live, please hit the like button. Comment in the comment section. It also shows YouTube that you guys are commenting and interacting. Makes them want to throw it out to more people that's searching Buck stuff. And the more people we get to watch this, the more people we can have in the comment section and talk Bucks. Trust me, it's going to be live, especially when we go live preseason and during the games. I go live during the games. You can hear the TV in the background, and I'm talking to you guys while we're watching the game live. You're going to want to be there. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and make sure when you hit the notification bell, you have to tap the notification bell and make sure the notification bell says all. If it doesn't say all, it will not notify you for everything. So it won't notify you when we go live. It won't notify you when we go put stuff in the chat room and stuff like that. So make sure the notification bell is on all, please. You don't want to miss out. Buck Crazy in the building. Skull Gang in the building. Skull Gang. Oh yeah, for sure we're streaming Friday night. We might stream tomorrow as well. We might stream tomorrow depending on what happens. We're going to keep an eye on what happens tomorrow. We might stream tomorrow. So we'll see. Like I said, make sure your notifications on all so you guys are notified if I do go live. Shaman RTP, I appreciate all you guys, man. Thanks for showing love. Let's keep it going. The subscribers kind of slowed down the last couple of days, but let's pick it up today. Let's share the content, all that stuff. Let's pick it up and let's get some more subscribers going again. It's Shaman RTP, Skull Gang in the building. Remember, it is pewter and red till we cold and dead. I'll see y'all next time. We out.